One of the great pleasures of joining the Hollenbach clan as an outlaw has been in enjoying family get-togethers, quite often in exotic locales. This year, the tradition continued thanks to the VRBO skills of Fritz. He found Casa de los Cocos, located on an isolated stretch of beach near the sleepy town of Barra de Navidad. The website describes it as a gated private villa, a luxurious retreat with unobstructed views of the Pacific Ocean. I'm not sure I would go that far, but each of the bedrooms were good-sized and had private bathrooms. The decorations and the furniture were extremely bare-bones basic, but we warmed up to the house with every passing day, and the views of the ocean, and especially of the sunsets, were truly glorious. We used our first full day to drive up to the beach town of Melake to go shopping. Here on the map, you see our house situated remotely to the south of the Gran Isla Navidad resort. Melake, shown for some reason on the map as San Patricio, is where the better stores are, so we drove way around and did our big initial shop at the Hawaii supermarket. We came away with an impressive load of stuff, especially since we had already determined that none were that into cooking, and the plan would be to eat out for most of our meals. While a beautiful beach is always nice, the big attraction for me was the chance to play several days of golf with Tim and Fritz. The Grand Bay offered 3 nines, the ocean course, the mountain course, and the lagoon. 12 balls later, I'll be happy to never see the lagoon again, but the other 2 were truly a delight, with several holes running along the beach. In this photo, you can see our house at the end of the fairway, and just beyond this enormous green, you can see the rocks we would hike over to get to our swimming beach. Tim was our most serious fisherman, and despite the impressive waves looking to drag him in, he bravely gave it his best shot despite never having a single bite. Supposedly that changed when he, Kate, Fritz, and Claire rented a boat for the day. They claimed they enjoyed several strikes, including one by a huge marlin that broke free only after jumping way out of the water. How big, Fritz? At least they brought photos to prove their equally wild tales of an enormous shipwreck which had supposedly ran aground during the recent hurricane. While we had no swimming spot near our house, if you walked up the beach to near the peninsula's point, a distance of about a mile and a bit each way, someone had built some concrete steps around the cliffs to what one of the locals called Chicken Beach. And indeed, one small cove was safer for swimming. Here, a young lover had written in driftwood, "Love, will you marry me?"
La curva de la carretera me invitan a viajar. Hay tanto por recorrer, tanto por conocer.
The second portion of the cove was not, however, suitable for swimming, and before you know it, we were attracted like lemmings to get our pictures taken amongst the wild waves. It reminded me of the famous last words of many Canadians, "Hey, hold my beer, watch this." You have to give Fritz credit, though. He has all the instincts to be a true gentleman. I'm just not sure about his technique. This hike back and forth to the swimming beach was one the women folk took to doing every day, and it became a tradition each afternoon to celebrate their return with a swim in the pool, and who knows what other foolishness. We were joined by the house caretaker, Antonio, a fixer who helped us book massages, the fishing boat, and even arranged for a cook to come in one night. Some delightful friends of Fritz and Claire's owned a house just down the beach. Interestingly, they and their neighbors, who had all built their homes at about the same time, now were all looking to sell. The reason? Advancing age and simply a feeling of been there, done that. Asking price, 5 to 700K. Good luck with that, considering Mexico's present problems.
If we're catching fish after fish, I get it. Oh, and my darling, thank you so much.
Oh, you're so foolish.
Thank you so much for being so compromising with me.
I'm so compromising, so you're so
A no llorar, me enseñará a reconocer que hay daños que te enseñan a crecer. Me enseñará a ver sus
We made the journey into Barra a lot less than I thought we would. The scenic route was to drive over to the Isla Navidad resort and from there take a water taxi. The resort was quite impressive with its marina full of super yachts. There were tennis courts and gorgeous grounds overlooking the bay. I suspected, however, that it wasn't even half full, and indeed, when we checked on prices, they seemed eager to offer a deal. Despite its fancy resort neighbor, the charm of the actual village of Barra de Navidad was in being a simple, non-pretentious Mexican beach town. Having said that, the town was rocking when the women folk went over for our first visit. It turns out it was the town's annual music and dance festival.
I don't know what you say, but sounds good.
They obviously had a wild good time, for they returned with an entire mariachi band.
Mírame bien, mama, como siempre.
All in all, a great trip and a fun time. And the final cost? For everything, including multiple days of golf, a day of deep sea fishing, massages, drinks and food, less than $650 per person for the week. Hard to beat. A great trip.
Dime otra vez todo lo que pasó y cómo fue, si alguna vez pudiera comprender ese modo de mirar.